What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Gmi's World Podcast, and we're going to be jumping into Week 11 of the 2018 NFL season with a super fast, informative recap of what exactly happened. We're going to get right into it with the Buccaneers and the Giants. Only thing that was good about this game is Saquon Barkley. I want you guys to understand that nobody really expects the Giants to be doing anything. I thought they were going to be going after the number one pick. It seems like the Raiders don't know if they want the number one pick because they're winning games as well. But I don't know what they're doing. The bottom line is the Buccaneers is sort of like a crazy situation because, first of all, Fitzpatrick is garbage. And then you put Jameis Winston in, and then he was supposed to be garbage. But then he fumbles. It's a touchdown. That changes the momentum. He starts throwing dots. The game turns around. But ultimately, the Giants were just too much. Barkley was getting involved. OBJ was getting involved. Eli Manning didn't look as bad, but I can tell you this much right now, regardless of what he does for the rest of the season, it will be the last year for Eli, in my opinion. I don't know how they can get away with bringing him back, but we'll see what happens with that. As far as the Buccaneers go, they suck. But let's jump into the Texans and the Redskins. This game was 33 years to the day Joe Theismann got the same injury with a broken leg that Alex Smith got. How crazy is life that history repeats itself, man? I feel for him. I hope he gets well soon. I don't know what his career is going to be like because once he rehabs, he's kind of old, bro. I don't know what might happen with that, but it was a tough loss. They lost on that field goal. They just didn't make it. Looking at Deshaun Watson, he's starting to come back a little bit. He still looks like he's not making certain throws that he should make, but he's getting a little bit better because earlier in the season, I didn't like what I was seeing as far as pocket presence and the decision-making, but he's looking a little bit better, so I got to give him credit for that as he's gradually getting his step back and starting to, get his groove back a little bit. But the Redskins are still no joke. Keep in mind, Adrian Peterson is still, rushing for touchdowns. He's about to start, I think he's about to pass Jim Brown for the most touchdowns in NFL history. So Adrian Peterson is still making noise. The Redskins in the NFC East, pretty much without Alex Smith. Alex Smith out there, you have Colt McCoy. I don't like their odds now. I think they are out of it. I kind of agree with Skip Bayless right now that the Dallas Cowboys are probably going to win the NFC East based on what's been happening, but we'll get to that in a second. Steelers and the Jaguars. Now, this game was really, really crazy because it started out with the Jaguars completely dominating the Steelers, and I was just like, yo, Jalen Ramsey looked like he's trying to make some noise right now because we've heard rumors that it's a possibility that he might be traded in the offseason. And I'm thinking about it like, yo, the Jags, they're terrible, but how are they winning like this, bro? And in the way that they win when it was like a video game animation where Ben Roethlisberger's necks get tilted when he's trying to dive for the touchdown. It was weird. But ultimately, they came back on a busted play where obviously Antonio Brown gets wide open. He runs down there, jukes Jalen Ramsey, gets to the end zone, and it's a wrap. That started everything up, and it just went wild. I will point this out, though. James Conner showed us why he's not Le'Veon Bell. I'm not trying to say that I'm comparing him to him. I still believe that Le'Veon Bell is the better running back, but I just want to make sure everybody understands Le'Veon Bell is still a very special running back in the league. I was going to say wide receiver because he's pretty much a hybrid. He's both, but he's a very special running back, and rumor is he's asking for $17 million a year. I wish him the best with that because if he doesn't get that, then this holdout was a fail. But congratulations to the Steelers with the comeback win as the Jaguars dropped to 3-7. The Raiders and the Cardinals. Now, this game was garbage all throughout. It wasn't anything that was like, you really had to see. The most exciting part about it for me was seeing Larry Fitzgerald catch a touchdown because that dude is old as dirt and he's still out there just balling. When it comes to professionalism, that dude is the icon that the NFL needs, man, because his teams have been terrible. And you don't hear a peep out of this guy. He just goes out there. He run blocks hard. He pass blocks hard. He does everything he's supposed to do, man. And that's a real teammate. That's a real upstanding person that I would love to have to be a part of my franchise. As far as the loss, we fully expected that to happen, but not to the Raiders, though. It looks like Derek Carr and John Gruden are not going to make it together. I don't know if he'll be traded for another first-round pick, but I don't think that he's the quarterback that John Gruden wants. So more than likely, Chucky's going to get rid of him very, very soon based on the spat that they had on the sideline. Now, you can say that you have, like, fire and crazy stuff like that, but that's not supposed to happen. Like, you're not supposed to be over there going, like, running back and forth, running off at the mouth with the head coach. Like, that just doesn't happen. That shows a lack of respect. And I know you might be like, oh, yeah, he was fired up. Nah, bro. Nah, they don't respect John Gruden with all the stuff he's been doing, and that's what's giving them the power to feel that they can do that. But we'll see how, everything unfolds with that. Cowboys and the Falcons. Now, let me tell you this right now, right? This game was hilarious to me simply for the fact that I've been telling you guys, and a lot of you guys that are Cowboy fans have been telling me it's Dak's fault. It's Dak's fault. He was the reason that Dez Bryant did this. He was the reason that Dez Bryant got cut. All this stuff like that. not pointing out that Des Bryant led the league in drops and all this stuff was going on. Obviously, Dak's been having problems with his accuracy. I did not say that that wasn't an issue. I always am upfront with that. But I told you, it's something about this young man that if you just give him a little bit more, give him a little bit more time, he's going to make the Dallas Cowboys, a contender. Like, put it like this, right? After the Falcons go down, the game gets tied, and at this point, everybody's saying that it's no way Dak's going to bring them down and they're not going to win the game or whatever like that. And he drives them right back down in the field goal range. Ezekiel Elliott, 100+ scrimmage yards for the 24th time in his career. Okay? He's a special person. Jerry Jones, he ain't going to go broke, but he got to pay a lot of people because he said he would extend Dak. And if you look at him in his box when they won the game, when the field goal was good, I'm going to tell you this right now. It looks like he's back to that old mindset of trying to do, what it takes to win. And that's scary. Okay, I'm just letting you guys know that right now because if they make a couple more moves, defensively, they're sound. They gave up some plays, but you're giving it up to Julio Jones, Sanu and stuff like that. You're giving it up to quality receivers. But another thing that I wanted to point out is Vander Esch is he reminds me so much of Brian Urlacher. Maybe it's the way his shoulder pads are. I don't know what's going on. His neck. I don't know what it is, bro. But he reminds me a lot of Brian Urlacher. And it was just so funny when he wasn't even looking for the interception and it just landed in his lap. A lot of people were tweeting about saying it was lucky, but I think it's just a natural knack that he has to pick the ball off. That's just me. The Falcons, we didn't expect anything from them, and we got nothing. You know what I'm saying? I've been telling you guys that since the season started. The Falcons have to fire their head coach in order to get that 28-3 taste out their mouth. I'm sorry, guys, but that's just facts. The Bengals and the Ravens. It was very good to see Lamar Jackson go out there and start. Obviously, it wasn't as spectacular as most of us would think it was, but I love the new offensive skill. He threw an errant interception, but that's going to happen with a mobile quarterback. He rushed for over 100 yards in the game. Overall, he played very well. It just opened up the offense, pretty much is what he did. The Bengals, I want to point out that John Ross is a savage because he's very, very short, and that catch that he made on the right side, that was kind of wild, man. I just wanted to make sure I pointed that out. But overall, the Ravens look like a completely dynamic team, and it's so weird that Harbaugh is playing like his brother when he had Kaepernick with the 49ers. It's weird. Panthers and the Lions. This was very, very wild. I'm just going to point out the fact that Riverboat Ron is an idiot. But he did stand by his decision to go for 2 at the end of the game. Cam Newton, I don't know who you want to blame. Leave it in the comments. Let me know. Do you blame Cam Newton for putting too much on that throw for the 2-point conversion? Or do you blame Riverboat Ron for not just taking the field goal? Either way, the Lions fought back. Galladay made an unbelievable catch. 8 receptions, 113 yards, and a TD. I don't expect the Lions to make any noise in the NFC North, but it was a huge win for them. Either way, I think the Panthers are going to the playoffs, win or lose. And I think that because the kicker missed that extra point, I think Riverboat Ron was making a point that Graham Gano is going to be gone. What do you guys think about that? Titans and the Colts. Andrew Luck 3 pass TDs in 7 straight games. He dominated this game, but just let's point out that Mariota was hurt early in the game, so that had something to do with it. But it's just so weird that this same team that could go demolish the Patriots and beat all these good teams will get demolished by the Colts. But when the Colts are playing like that, they're a whole different breed. Okay, if Andrew Luck can play like that consistently, you're going to have a lot of issues beating the Colts. But we have to really see how the rest of this NFL season is going to unfold because looking at it right now, I don't even know who they have on defense, to be honest with you. But offensively, look, man, you saw the catch that T.Y. Hilton did. I don't know how he kept his toe in and then the heel was, bro, I don't know what's going on. But I'm going to tell you this right now. You guys got to be careful with that. If Andrew Luck's not playing like that, man, I don't really know about this, man. The NFL is a dangerous thing because I know a lot of people lost their house betting on Vegas going with the Titans in this game, man. And it's very, very dangerous. But like I said, congratulations to all the Colt fans. You guys deserve that more than anybody else, man, because you've been through so much. So kudos to you guys, and we'll see what happens with you guys going forward. The Broncos and the Chargers. This was a very, very wild game, but I have to give Case Keenum credit because when I go crazy on him, calling him a journeyman and all that kind of stuff like that, saying the dude doesn't really have what it takes to win at the high level, this was a very, very huge win for the Broncos. And you know what's disgusting about it? The Broncos are not making the playoffs, and they just really hurt the Chargers, okay, with this loss. You know, they really hurt the Chargers because the Chargers were some people's favorites to actually upset somebody in the AFC playoffs. This doesn't look good. And I know it's division rivalry. I know all that stuff is going on, but you have to win this game. You just have to. and there's really no excuse about it. But going forward, I still see the Chargers trying to do something. I just want to point out that how old is Antonio Gates? He got to be 77 at this point. It doesn't really matter though. Either way, very, very huge win from the Broncos. Chargers, you got to step your game up. The Eagles and the Saints. The Eagles are not winning the NFC East. This is going to be one of the most disgusting comebacks to a season ever. And then now people are really questioning, should they put Nick Foles in, instead of putting in Walker to him? I don't know what we should do here, but I'm going to tell you this right now. This win really, really solidifies Drew Brees winning the MVP unless Patrick Mahomes on Monday Night Football just goes ape. That is because he's throwing the sweetest dots you will ever see in any football game. And it's outrageous at this point. It's just really, really outrageous. And I don't understand what's going on, but I'm going to tell you this right now. The Saints are very, very dangerous. Okay? And I'm going to have to go with them as my NFC pick, bro. I'm going to have to take them over the Rams. Now, you guys might say, yo, bro, we got to wait a little bit. I don't know, man. You guys going to have to convince me that the Rams can actually beat this team because they put up 48 on the Eagles. How do you give up 48? Bro, they brought in all these, Michael Bennett, the Eagles, they got a lot of work to do, man. Doug Peterson, you're running off at the mouth, you're fearless, all this stuff like that. You had to be scared of this butt whooping you took, so you ain't fearless. I'm going to tell you that right now, because that beating was ridiculous. I want to thank everybody for watching. Make sure you guys understand and know that you can listen to this on the go, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Android, everywhere. G Myers World Podcast, search it. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to see you guys after the Sunday night and the Monday Night Football game. One love.